Our intention for today is to ask about the different collectives that are here helping with this Earth project. And we're just asking for the highest information for the evolution of humanity. So as you're there, are you connecting with any collective specifically?
Yeah, so I'm back on the Galactic Federation ship. Um, and it's almost like the it's like there's a different member from each council here to meet us.
Like a representative?
Yeah.
Well, welcome everyone. We appreciate you allowing us to share space with you and answer our information. We always call upon the Octurians. And so our fellow friends just hang out there at the table for a bit because we are going to call on other collectives first to really get to know them. Are there any volunteers that want to start off?
The Pleiadians.
Welcome, friends. You guys had a lovely message for us last week. Um, what would you like us to know about your collective, or do you have any messages at this time?
We shared beautiful messages of love last week. We just want you to know that we are the ones that seeded the collective on Earth. We were one of the first beings to decide that there would be life on Earth, or to decide, we I guess you could say that we created your Earth experiment. Um, and then we invited in the Octurians to help us. So the way we they're showing me almost like they seeded almost like the version of the caveman on Earth. Um, like they planted him there on purpose with the genetics that they needed to be like the most basic form of human. And then they made contracts. They created the Galactic Federation of Earth after that. And then they created contracts with the different extraterrestrials that would also be involved in seeding Earth.
Now, what were they hoping to explore with Earth?
It's like they're showing me so all planets have their own soul, and it's like the soul of the earth. It's almost like they're showing me the soul of the earth is like a very evolved Pleiadian. Like Gaia just has so much love. Um, and so they connected to her immediately, and they just wanted to create this expansive experiment of love. But they wanted the experiment to have like, so the Pleiadians, there's planets on the Pleiades that are very masculine and very feminine. There are warrior species in the Pleiades. There are light beings in the Pleiades. There's reptilians in the Pleiades. There's just such a huge mixing pot of different beings in the Pleiades. And they were like, we just want to take all of that. We want to take all of the entire universe and put that into Earth and see how much evolution you could create in one lifetime on Earth.
How do they feel? Like, did the Earth project go sideways, or what happened?
They're saying that if you look at it from a place of neutrality, just knowing that everyone is here to have their own experience, then the Earth experiment is beautiful and it's perfect in every single way, because the souls that have needed to learn the hardest lessons are learning their hardest lessons, and the souls that are here to help and express themselves in a loving way, they're having the experience that they wanted. Um, and for a three-dimensional planet, for a place of for a place that has so many emotions and frequencies within it, then everyone here is doing a beautiful job and has done a beautiful job with the best that they could and with the level of understanding. So I think there's a lot of people here that wonder if like Earth, so they're showing me like there have been multiple timelines where the Earth has kind of came off track, but they've always been able to re-gear it. And it's almost like there was a little bit of fear when nuclear bombs went off. And so that's when they got really invested back into their project. So I'm seeing they kind of seeded Earth, and they've always had a few people watching over Earth, but for the most part, when when the extraterrestrials left, like when the Anunnaki left, and it was time for humans to grow up, the extraterrestrials actually like kind of left us for a little bit and just kind of left us. They gave us the space that we needed to grow until the nuclear bombs went off, and that's when they came back. Um, and so at that point, there was some worry of what might be happening or if Earth was ascending on the correct path. But they're just saying that, like, from their perspective, it's all beautiful and it's all perfect.
Is there anything else about your collective? Like, how do you guys live in your communities?
They just have such open hearts. So it's just this beautiful, loving relationship, like this beautiful giving and receiving relationship. It's like the best way to, they're so focused on like creating joy for other people and expressing themselves for the highest and greatest good of their community. It's like I can just see their hearts glowing and radiating. It's so beautiful. They're really focused on how can I create miracles for other people.
Why is it so important to create miracles for other people, for you guys?
Because ultimately that is what brings your heart the most joy is when you create miracles for other people. Since when you create miracles for other people, you are the highest expression of yourself because that means that you are seeing God in other people. That means that you're understanding that you are this person in front of you and you are creating miracles in the eyes of God.
Now, the number 7 is typically associated with Pleiadians. What can you tell us about that?
I got a picture of the seven sisters. So the seven sisters are like the seven stars of the Pleiades star system. And then they're saying it's like the as above, so below. It's almost like the seven sisters match the seven chakras of Earth. It's really interesting, the picture that they showed me. It's like they showed me the seven sisters and then they directly showed me the chakras of Earth. And that it matches. Like it's meant to correlate directly.
Are they is there a reason that they correlate directly?
I'm seeing the Pleiadians like work with the angels to create the matrix of this planet. So they worked with the angels to create like that's the coolest thing ever.
Mhm.
I don't even know how to describe what I'm seeing. It's like, you know, when you have those moments where it's just like this realization and this deep knowing of like everything that we are. I had a transcendental moment. Oh, that was crazy. I don't even know how to explain what they just showed me, but it's like I felt it in my being. I mean, I guess I'll try to explain it, but it's like I'm seeing the angels and the Pleiadians merge these energies together to create the matrix that we're in. And it's like we have to remember, like, it's not our job to escape the matrix. It's we're a part of this matrix. Like, if we're a part of these energies, we're a part of the matrix, and we're the matrix expressing ourselves at all times. Like, you could almost see each human being as a pattern. So everything in this world is a fractal, and it's like we are just fractals and these patterns expressing themselves in the matrix as a part of the matrix.
I
Oh,
have
that
so
got super deep.
I'm like, I have so many, I have like 20 questions coming up right now with you saying all this stuff. Is this something we can explore in a future session? Because I really feel let's dive deep into the matrix.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Pleiadians, for the sake of the intention behind today's session, I'm going to put it in my notes and then we will follow up on the matrix for sure. Are there any other final messages that you guys have? And I just want to send gratitude and love to you guys for all that you've done with your collective and all the loving, miraculous um, miracles you want to, provide for us.
Yeah, so they're just saying that we are just all fractals of love at the very basic parts of our beings. Like we're all just this divine order of love. We're just love expressing itself. And when we get into that neutral place of unconditional love, then we'll express ourselves in so much love. Man, I love the Pleiadians.
Yeah, I mean,
And they're showing me it's almost like the earth has a Pleiadian frequency. Like she is just that pure love. She's like that nurturing mother where she just holds us in her womb and she's always just so giving to us. Like even though people have taken so much from her, she's just always still there to give and hold us.
I love her so much, and my heart also hurts for her in the fact that I just wish more honor and gratitude would go her way.
And she's even saying she's like, dear one, there's no reason to feel this way because she is at such a high understanding that all there is love. She doesn't even care that we've taken these things from her. She just wants us to love ourselves as much as she loves us because we are all aspects of her.
Well, thank you, Mother Gaia, for bringing tears to my eyes. And I'm sorry we haven't connected with you, but setting that intention to for our sessions. I want to talk to you and send you love. But is there anything else you want to say, Gaia?
I'm gonna start crying.
Yeah.
And
She loves us so much.
she is literally just saying she's like showing me all the trees and like the sunsets and like the most beautiful parts of Earth. And she's like, remember, you are this beautiful. Like you are this divine and you are the earth. Like you were made in God's creation and this is how beautiful you are.
Yeah.
Like she's like when you see a beautiful tree, like the most beautiful tree that you've ever seen, that is you. And you are that same beauty.
That is love.
It's just it's so crazy to me that like she can still love us this much after all of the things that we've done to her. Like she's still just if there's one thing that we can learn from Gaia, it's like how to reach that place of unconditional love.
Yeah, and what it truly emanates from you, what that looks like. Uh,
And she's saying that like when we start to feel like we lack abundance, that's why it's so important to connect with her. Because when you go out into nature, when you go out into the trees, like just see the abundance of life and just remember that like you are a part of this ecosystem. Like so many parts of our lives, we've been so polarized away from what nature is that that's why we like need to go back and seek our connection with nature is because you are abundant, you are a part of the earth. And the earth has so much abundance and love for you. Like there is no lack when you connect to the earth.
Yeah, and the rhythm of nature is one of the only rhythms I truly understand. Connecting with humanity has been hard because it doesn't have the same rhythm that nature has. It's I understand nature and the rhythm of it all. I just sometimes with humanity, that's why I'm left with questions, and that's why I'm in the perfect job to be questioning and asking those questions. But there is a divine harmony that nature just it is a pulse, it is a rhythm, it's a heartbeat, it's a song, it's all those things.
Yeah, and all day this morning, I was just I'm setting up a course where I'm teaching the Hermetic principles to other people. So I was listening to just different recordings and like reading the Kabbalion about the law of rhythm all morning today. So it's interesting that this keeps coming up today because she's saying like through our ascension, we'll be back in this like beautiful divine rhythm. And that's why we feel so lacking, is because we're not in this beautiful flow with her. Like she's saying, like, just love me unconditionally and you'll just find my rhythm. Like our heartbeats will beat together to the same rhythm.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. My arms were big enough. I'd put my arms all around you, Gaia, and just squeeze the crap out of you.
I feel like we're gonna have to, if we go into each collective, we're gonna have to do like 7 different videos.
I mean, maybe, right? Like,
Yeah, like maybe just give each collective the space to express themselves. So that's what the Pleiadians are saying. They're saying that Gaia is their expression. Like love and nature, that is the expression of the Pleiades.
mm, well, I understand that energy is neutral and that we see the world the way that with the lens that we want to see it, that we choose to see it, right? Um, but what about like how they say there was the Garden of Eve, like the Garden of Eden? Like what can you tell us about, like, was that a sacred place you guys created, or what happened with that? Because if you guys created the heavens and the earth, then you would have created the Garden of Eden, right? So what can you tell us about that?
They said they'll get into the Garden of Eden with the Anunnaki.
Will they come and show up when we have that conversation with the Anunnaki?
Yeah, so when we speak to the Anunnaki collective, they'll speak about the Garden of the Garden of Eden and what it represented because they're actually like to closely tied to the Garden of Eden.
Okay. Um, was Enoch a Pleiadian?
He was an angel,
Okay.
like a direct. I also had another question if Enoch was Metatron, and they're saying that it's almost like I'm seeing Enoch as like an aspect of the archangels. Like it's not that he was one archangel, it's almost like he belonged to the entire collective. I don't even know how to, it's like, I don't even know how to explain it. They even showed me a lot of pictures today that are almost like things that I can't explain.
It kind of does make sense because when we did the angel recording, they showed themselves as like a unified front kind of thing, like
Yeah.
with the wings and the blue light in the middle, like saying we are all one kind of thing.
Yeah,
And
so
so,
they're just saying that like Enoch was just here on behalf of the archangels.
and are all archangels Pleiadians?
No,
Okay.
the archangels are like dark. It's so you can see it kind of like as source and the seraphim and then the archangels. And then there's like even regular angels and there's Pleiadians. So it really just depends. Like there are some light Pleiadians and light Octurians that are very close to angels. But it's just like the different frequency that they decide to manifest themselves in.
Now, question about, because I know that the human design, the genetics was modified with breeding of other species, right? Other collectives. But I've heard that the Sasquatch are the original human design, unaltered, uncrossbred. And that's why they're able to travel interdimensionally and still in harmony and still like it's the natural evolution of man. Is that correct?
This is when I wish Shay was here, the practitioner that I did a lot of videos with in the past because she was a part of the Octurian collective that was actually designing these beings before they came here, or like she would worked into like human design. It was
Hmm.
really cool. But yeah, so they're telling me that that is like the most basic version, but they still had their analytical mind, or not as analytical as we are. That's why they had to call in the Syrians to help give us our thinking mind. But yeah, they're saying like pre-Diluvian times. That was, it's like the Pleiadians just planted them here to have a being here. So then the next extraterrestrials could come and work with the beings and apply their genetics to these beings as well. And I'm just getting the funniest picture of the Pleiadians coming here first, landing in an area that I feel like is Antarctica. Um, and Jesus and Ashtar getting out of a spaceship and like being on Earth for the first time. But they're their Pleiadian selves. They look a lot different.
So Jesus is Pleiadian and Ashtar is Pleiadian.
Yeah. It's like they kind of started the Galactic Federation or like and then they have like they have other Pleiadian officers with them. And then it's like the Octurians are coming to meet them and they're just discussing what the Earth experiment will be and where they're gonna plant these seeds for life to begin to grow.
I heard a thing that Jesus, his name wasn't even Jesus, that it was altered. Did he go by Yeshua in the Bible or Jesus?
Yeah, so you can call him at this point, Jesus is telling me he doesn't even really care what you call him. It has been changed multiple times. Um, Jesus is just what Ceirra knows him as, but he goes by many names. Like there's also Sananda, Yeshua, Jesus. Some people even call him Jesus. It's really just up to you. He's like, you can call me whatever you want.
Call me Jesus. I love it. It'll carry the same frequency when you connect with it.
Yeah, he knows.
Okay.
And
Does
he's
he?
just so loving too. I love him too.
I mean, I'd like Jesus. What messages do you have for us?
Just that you were created in pure love and light. Like when they created this earth experience, they had such pure intentions and they were so excited for this to be their newest development for consciousness in the universe. And we as humans, we have the capacity to hold so much love within us. There's other collectives where they don't have the expansiveness of the nervous system that we do. So they can't actually hold as much love as we can in our bodies. And so when we're feeling sad or anxious, just always return to the love that's held within us. Because even if we're holding emotions in our body, we can connect to some kind of love that's within us because we are love. So rather it's like a family member that makes us feel love, rather it's watching a video of a puppy that makes us feel love for that puppy, something to connect with that feeling of love within you. And then once you really practice feeling this love, you'll learn how to connect with your heart. And just by putting your awareness on your heart, you'll be able to activate this love within your entire nervous system. And that's why your natural state of being as a human is a state of bliss. So we knew that you were going to have these lower density emotions when we made these contracts with the Anunnaki. So we also made it so that you could hold so much love within your nervous system. And that's why it's so important to do things like breath work and really eat good minerals and good food just for the sake of your nervous system, so that when you experience those lower dimensional emotions, you can come back to so much love. Like, yes, we gave you these emotions, but you can love so deeply.
Thank you. And what does it mean to have Christ consciousness? Because that's been a catchphrase lately.
Christ consciousness is that state of bliss. So there are other collectives where their nervous system can't hold that state of Christ consciousness. And when we say state of Christ consciousness, we just mean coming back to that unconditional love. So you have the opportunity where you can change your certain states of being, where you can feel this Christ consciousness within you. And as light workers begin to wake up, they'll begin having these experiences where they'll just randomly feel Christ consciousness. It's that feeling of deep bliss. It's that feeling of connectivity with everything where you just know that there's so much more to this life than the matrix that you're currently in, where you just know that you are God having an experience, and where you just know that you're connected so deeply with everything around you. Sorry, I'm just laughing because um there's a so when I was first going through my spiritual awakening, I would be like on the subway or something and just randomly I would just feel this bliss through my body and I would just start laughing. And Jesus literally told me that he thought that it was funny because he would just like randomly hit me with Christ consciousness. He is also very funny.
That is funny. I think
Yeah,
the
he's saying that the fastest way to experience Christ consciousness is through laughter. Anything that we can do to laugh. Laugh is also the fastest way. Laughter is the fastest way to alchemize our emotions. So if we are just spirit taking a breath, then laughter, it's like laughter is our greatest expression because we're breathing and we're expressing with our words. So laughter ultimately raises our frequency and alchemizes our lower density emotions the fastest. And then that's why when you reach that bliss state, you want to laugh. Like you'll just break down laughing. And he's saying that once you get all those lower density emotions out of your body, you'll learn you have to learn to still your mind too, but your natural state of being is a blissful state. And that's because you are just a piece of God. You are a part of this bliss, and you deserve you deserve to live in this place of bliss. And that's also what the fifth dimension is. It's embodying Christ consciousness more and living from that place of bliss so that we create and we embody love more.
I love that. And I think, is that why a lot of people make jokes about what you could seem like you're being cynical with your joking, but is that why a lot of people in bad situation makes jokes because that laughter and or that humor helps alchemize that energy?
Yeah, and so this is something that um Ceirra does. So this is why she's always laughing is because she's alchemizing the emotions of everyone around her, and she it's like she's alchemizing these emotions and taking them into the higher frequencies. So if you're listening to her laughter, you're automatically being raised to the frequency that she's at. And she's even asked lately, um, because when she was younger, she didn't understand what she was doing, and she would be in these situations where other people were really upset or angry, and she would laugh, and then the people would get even more upset. And she
Yeah.
didn't have that deep understanding of why she was doing this. Like she thought that she was disrespecting them, but in reality, she's here to transmute these energies through laughter. And that's also like, even during her quantum healing sessions, like her laughter is so healing because her voice, her, it's like I'm breathing, I'm like taking a breath of God and speaking the breath of, or speaking the voice of God at the same time and transmuting these the lower density energies with laughter.
I love that. And yes, her laughter does make me giggle too. So I appreciate it.
Because I think it's beautiful that he told me that. I've actually never heard that before. Like, I mean, I've asked them sometimes, why do I laugh so much? And they've told me because that's like your natural state of being is laughter. And that's really cool though. That's the first time I've heard it explained to me like that. And
Well,
then
and I
sometimes we make our videos and I'm like, am I laughing too much? Like, because I've had people comment and be like, you should take this more seriously. And now I'm at the point where I just know like the people that love my laughter know that they need my laughter, and I'll attract people to me that understand why I'm laughing.
right. And we do respect and honor the information, but we've also come to a place where we want to enjoy what we do and we want to enjoy the connection and to create that joy and take the fear away from feeling like we have to look a certain way to be spiritual and fitting that mold. And I think that, taking it seriously, I mean, you should see our calendars combined of how many sessions we do a day, how many clients we're meeting on. So it's like, it's all perspective in that way. But I think having joy in everything that you do is so important.
Yeah, and that's like it's kind of like he's showing me the range of who I am as a healer. It's like I can find the joy in all things, but also just create this like I'm just very aware of how other people are feeling. So if they need that space where they need to release those emotions, I'll create like that very quiet, intimate space where they feel safe and loved and they can transmute and release those dense energies. But then I'm gonna laugh through the rest of the session because I know that we can transmute these things. And I know that we deserve to live from joy and we deserve to live in our higher vibrational states of being.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We should be able to dance in the rain. And
Yes.
I think that's so important. And we forget to do like, it's going to rain regardless. So what are we going to make of it? And I appreciate Jesus's beautiful, beautiful, just it resonates with the heart hearing his message. But so on a humorous note, I once channeled the angels, and when asked what they thought the funniest things that human beings do, and Archangel Michael said he loves to watch us cry because we're so animated and we're very, very dramatic when we're crying. And it's really funny for them. Now, Jesus, do you think it's funny when we cry?
Um, he's saying that he lives like from a very like a state of compassion, but he is extremely playful. So it's like if we're starting to cry, it's like he creates that safe space for you to completely let it out. But then as soon as that density is released, he's gonna be like, what does the inner child want to do? What's the best way to express and expand right now? Like, what would make your heart so happy? Like, how could we just dance and play?
After that release? I mean, so the snot bubbles that we have running on in our faces don't make you giggle at all?
Yeah, he just said that he does find like the joy in everything, so it's just
Okay.
changing our perspective. And
Well,
it's so funny because I'll be in the worst mood like if something really bad happens, it's rare, but if I do just get into like a mood, it's like Jesus is there just doing something hilarious where I'm like, how is this even my life?
well, we appreciate his love, his compassion, his working with Ashtar, the Pleiadians, for all of it. And yeah, just sending so much honor and gratitude. Any other final things that anyone wants to step forward and share with us?
I just got it's almost like I was on the spaceship and it's like Superman came out in like his robe or with like his cape on.
Like Superman will channel you another day.
It was just super random.
He's like, am I
Um,
late for the meeting?
oh, he's saying that this Superman was an archetype that the Pleiadians placed in our human psyche to understand like how powerful we can be. So we have all of the same superpowers as Superman. We just have to believe in them. Like we're so powerful, but we've been so conditioned to believe a certain thing, and this was necessary for our evolution as a species, but they're like, now it's time for you to fully believe that you are Superman because you are Superman. You are
Aw.
Superman and you are Wonder Woman, and you are here to save the world. And the way that you save it is not necessarily like fighting bad guys and doing these things. It's by taking this deep healing journey within. So it's like now I'm seeing like Superman like meditating and levitating.
The super Zen man.
Yeah.
Well, we will definitely work on that. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today and giving us this higher information. We love you so much.
Amazing. Thank you.